PickFu is a self-service consumer research platform that anyone can use to get fast, reliable feedback from real people. You don't need to be a market research expert or hire one to use PickFu. All you need to do is create a poll, choose your target audience, and in minutes, you're going to start getting results. Real written responses from your target audience. You can ask for feedback on just about anything related to your business, marketing material, product designs, product packaging, almost anything. The respondents submit written comments with every PickFu poll. And now you can use the coupon code NOT101, that's NOT101, for a free 15-person poll at pickfu.com, pickfu.com.
Welcome to Business Law 101, a podcast that explores the uncommon side of business, goes beyond the conventional teachings, delves into the practical, real-world strategies and insights from successful founders, entrepreneurs, industry experts that understand what drives growth and how to achieve success in an ever-changing business landscape. So join us, and let's go beyond the basics. Hi, Negar. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for joining us on Business Law 101. Let's jump right into it. Please introduce yourself and give us your business pitch.
Thanks for having me here. I am Negar Yaghoobi. I am the CEO and founder of Colorful Zone. Colorful Zone is a psychoeducational startup that aims to make mental health education more entertaining for a larger group of people. And for now, we're working on a mobile app that calls Joyi, and this app works like a digital vitamin for sustainable happiness.
That's really interesting. So what was the aha moment, the light bulb moment that sort of launched this project?
I started my first startup in 2011, and the idea was to improving day-to-day quality of life for women, specifically on mental health. And it was a successful startup. More than 700,000 women used our services and products. But something that I learned from that experience was that mental health education is something that we should take it seriously. It's very important. We have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of science, but it's not engaging. People don't want to take their time to do mental health education, and honestly, it's boring. So I exited that startup, starting Colorful Zone, only working on the topic of how can we make mental health more engaging, more fun, and bring it to day-to-day life. So that's why I started this startup.
Yeah, that's so true. It's something that most people don't talk about, or when it is presented to them, it's a very difficult subject to sort of create a synergy between the person and sort of the course to talk about mental health.
Right.
So what is one thing you feel that your business has that's unique, the secret sauce behind Colorful Zone that's you feel is the success that's created the success?
First of all, the experience that me and my team have from the past experience, like the startup, the a lot of people, a lot of stories that we had, and we learn about that. So this one, and the other thing is that our work is personalized. So when we started working on that, first we had this rule that we need to go through science and also intelligent technology. We need to have these two, we need to integrate these two, but we also need to bring human connection to that and make it personalized for every person, because one fit for all solution doesn't work. And now I can say, after working a few years on our solutions, bringing personalized solution for mental health education is something unique that we are working on it.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. Now, looking at it from a business aspect, where were some of the initial roadblocks that or problems you've hit when you started your business, and how did you overcome them?
The problem, it's everything is unpredictable, and you don't know exactly what is your next step. You know the destination somehow, you know what you want to make, but it's all new and it's all unpredictable. So this is something very challenging. If it's just one step, two steps, it's okay, but all the all the experience, all the journey is like that. And I learned that we need to, at least I needed to be comfortable with not being comfortable and not being certain in a certain situation.
That's a great point. Being comfortable in uncomfortable situations and becoming normal. It
Exactly.
is something that I think and I don't just think, I honestly believe as an entrepreneur, you have to get used to that constant uncomfortable feeling because you're pushing boundaries. And I 100% agree with not knowing the path you're going to take, but sort of knowing your destination and how unpredictable that could be. So that's a great point. So now looking at it as a founder, as a business owner, and as an entrepreneur, we wear so many hats. What is a few of the positions, a few of the hats that you currently wear that you wish you could pass off, that you can hire somebody and you would suggest to our listeners to say, hey, this is something I shouldn't have tried to take on myself and I should have hired somebody right away?
So this answer would be very about me. It's not something that probably other people have this problem, but for me, something that is very difficult is being in the battle of gaining attention for your product, for your startup. This social media attention, putting content there and being in competition and having like and having followers and having people looking at you and deciding to use you. So that's something that I was thinking that okay, that's not my strength. I don't want to be in that position, and I found a creative solution for that. So now I am not in the position of branding and presenting all the time, and I call it in a battle of attention gaining.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. If social media and sort of the branding of a company is very difficult. And sometimes as owners and as entrepreneurs, I see a lot of people, and myself included, we try to do everything ourselves, figuring that at one point we're going to go and hire a team, hire an agency. But sometimes it's wiser just to bring that team right at the beginning and amplify your business so much more than if you try to do it yourself and then bring somebody in afterwards. So that's a brilliant point. I love that. So now switching gears a little bit, because this is a part of the conversations that I wasn't touching so much on in past seasons, but is now becoming something a lot of people ask me about. And that's about sales and customer acquisitions. In your experience with your business, what's the hardest part of your customer acquisition and your business cycle?
I believe sales is so buying and selling, like selling, it's the output of human connections. You don't sell anything. You make human connection, you make trust, you show people how you can help them, and then they decide to buy it. So actually it's not, I never had this experience of telling someone that hey, I want to sell my product to you. I said that, oh, fantastic, let's let's do it. So it's more about listening what they are doing and what's their problem and what is our solution, and trying to discuss about how can we help them in their journey. And then they decide. I said, no, you know what, I think that's a good idea, let's go forward. So this is the process of the sales, and it took me very long to learn that I cannot just reach people and say that hey, this is my product and I believe it's a very good product and you should sell it, you should buy it.
That's really interesting, and sort of leads into my next question. And if you were to tell listeners and say, okay, in general, speaking about general business, do you believe it's better to have a large following and sort of put your message out to a lot of people and sort of collect those who do come and are interested? Or do you feel it's more of one-on-one, one customer at a time to grow your business?
2 years ago I wanted to, I was very trying to learn how to start sales in my startup for this product. And I talked with a friend that he is very successful in in his business, specifically in sales. And then I had this issue that, oh, my network is not that big, and I traveled in many countries, I lived in many countries, so I don't have that much network that people that they live in one country, one city, they have in business. And he told me that all of his business, like all the revenues of the last year, came from 3 people. So he said that actually I don't have more than 10 people in my network, and I started with 3 of them. And these 3 just introduced me to their network, for example, another person who needed that service. And that happened to have a few millions of dollars last year. And I started doing the same thing. Sales sometimes needs a lot of patience, but it's not that you need to have like 1,000 people in your network. I usually go with not more than 5 potential sales conversation at a time. If any of them we realize that okay, we are not a good fit for their solution and for their products, then we stop that and I will look at other sales potential. But I think more than that, at least for me, it's not working.
Yeah, that's a great point. The 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers. A great example of, keeping a small funnel, but a focused small funnel, as opposed to having a large group of people, like a large net, and try to capture a whole bunch of attention and customers. A small funnel, concentrate those who are going to fall off, you replace them with another one. I love that. That's a really good point. So sort of switching over a little bit, what has been one of the most successful platforms to increase sales? Example, has it been your website? Has it been social media? Or has it been word of mouth?
Oh, definitely word of mouth.
So referral and word of mouth. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people as well.
If people share their experience and their feedback, even though it's not 100% positive, it makes more sales than if you just see an advertisement, a post, or like a social media thing. Because that's what I said, that it's a battle of gaining attention. People don't pay that much attention to social media, but they really listen to their friends.
Yeah, and that's 100% true. And sort of this leads into my question of marketing. Sort of looking at your organic community, those are the people that support you, that support your business. Now, you've talked about having a whole bunch of communities around multiple cities, multiple countries. How do you create synergy between all of them to have them help you increase branding and your company awareness? Are you leveraging them, or are you not using that?
Um, I gonna tell you about the solution that we invented for ourselves, and it's not something that very common in specifically startups. So we are mental health education. So what we're gonna do is to increase the quality of life for people that yet they don't face mental issues, but they want to be more resilient in front of general anxiety, in front of depression. So who gonna be more caring about this kind of people? Mental health advocates. What we started to do is that finding mental health advocates in our small community and start talking with them that you know what, we cannot change everyone, but if you create a mental health club in your school, in your workplace, or in your neighborhood, then you will support probably 20 people. You will do some activities that you like to do, and we will support you. So we started focusing on, instead of being very active, a lot of attention, a lot of followers in social media, we started supporting mental health clubs that are like members led. For example, student mental health club, employees mental health club, that they want to do something but they need more resource, they need more support, and we have that. We have a lot of products and services, so we support them and they support other people. So I can say that even in our marketing, we are B2B2C.
That's really interesting. And it was going to lead into my next question, which was like, when you look at your traditional marketing and sort of like the paid advertisements, and I'm assuming, are you doing any of that, or are you just doing the referral?
No, we don't do any paid advertisement. Instead, we spend our money for like competitions in that clubs, for sponsoring some people that they want to do some events, some art performance, anything that they want. And and I think this worked better for us. I tried the traditional one, it didn't work for us.
Yeah. And it seems that your business it does have a unique aspect that is community driven, organically driven through referrals. Now, sort of looking at your business, not just today, but also in the future, planning to sort of, I would say, expand your network and expand your business to sort of outreach across the world, right? You want to grow your business. Are you going to start looking at incorporating new marketing solutions, or are you going to just stick to this each community, each city? I'm going to create communities and sort of build up my following and my business market share.
You remember I told you everything is unpredictable? So I don't know. For now it works, but because we are not very big community, I am sure it's not gonna work when we change the situation. We have more and more different communities, but definitely I need to think about that. I always need to think about it every day, a new solution. One thing that I have in my mind is that I would love to work on like partnerships. I don't want to be successful all on my own. I want to work other people. I want to contribute with other organizations. I want to share my message with some like-minded messages so that we have more power.
That's brilliant. Yeah. And it sort of it leads into what you've already done with your communities and your small organizations that become your voice of your company. And partnerships will do the same thing. So I think that's brilliant. So switching it up just a little bit here, if you could leave your past self a message, like, leave yourself a phone call, yourself to your past self, warning you about this or telling you to do that, what would it be?
I would have told myself, instead of reading a lot of things and learning a lot of things, work on your mindset. Try to learn how to learn better. Try to improve your mindset instead of like improving your day, your efficiency, your productivity. Think better, like think in a higher state of mind. That helps a lot. That's something that I learned probably a few years ago. It's a little bit late. Still, I'm very happy that I learned this kind of mindset, but having a growth mindset, I can say. If you learn to have a growth mindset, if you develop that, then everything comes after that.
Brought up a lot, which is you need to have that growth mindset, but you need the hyperscale mindset. You got to think huge. You can't just think small or big. You need to think huge. And I think I agree with that 100%. So really open yourself with that mindset.
One other thing that it's something that I would love to share with a lot of young entrepreneurs is that I learned that very late, maybe after my like 8 years of working as an entrepreneur, that starting a startup, it's not a business, it's more a scientific approach. When you create a product, you don't know really if it's gonna work or not. You just try to see if it works or not. Is it work or not? If not, we can change it. So that mindset helps a lot, like avoiding a lot of failure, because in this mindset, failure is not actually like not having the result is not a failure. It's not end of the world. If that doesn't work, well, it's supposed to be like that. You need to try a lot of things to find which one is working. If the first effort is not working, if the first version of the product is not working, it's completely normal. What are you expecting, that the first effort gonna happen? So learning this mindset that it's not a business, it's a scientific approach, it's a scientific project, it's an experiment. It helped me to be more resilient in my business.
I love that. And this sort of leads me to my next question is mentorship. A lot of people they learn that through mentorship. Do you have a mentor or a business coach that helps you?
Oh yes, I always have mentors and advisors around me in different aspects like finance, business, legal, branding, and I don't I don't see myself without people helping me whenever I need them. So a lot of time I just want to tell about my strategies, and some people tell me what they think, which is like people that they can give you honest feedback. It's a very very important, and my mentors and my advisors, this is the most important thing they do for me.
I love that. That's so true. It's something a long time ago, but very late in my career as well. Or having a business coach, it helps enormously. So yeah, I love that answer. So now looking at you as an entrepreneur, because we want to know, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, what is one trait you honestly believe that every entrepreneur has? It's one
Yeah.
trait you believe everybody should have starting their own business.
Oh, yeah. Creativity. You should be creative. You don't know what is next. You need to create the past. The past, like in a startup, is not existed. You're doing something that nobody almost done it. So you need to be creative to create every next steps.
Now, one of the questions I ask a lot, and I love to ask my guest, how do you stay productive and focused? It's something that I struggle with my whole life. So I journal, I do things, but how do you do it?
Firstly, I learned myself. I There is some time during the day I'm not productive, so I don't do anything there. And the other thing is that, so let me tell you the story of the app Joyi because it's very relevant and it came from my story. This is the strategy I used like probably in the past 12 years, and then we brought that in the app, and actually it's very aligned with EEG brainwave science. So imagine you have 5 containers that are ingredients to make good moments. These containers is health, meaningfulness, mindfulness, togetherness, and curiosity. To make a good moment, you need to fill your jars and keep them being filled. So this is how I take care of my creativity. If I in my weekend I try to focus on these 5 trees. I want to spend time with my family and friends. I need to do some healthy things. I need to read. I need to learn. And this kind of things, I keep myself in a good flow of creativity. But for example, I am very creative in early morning. I cannot do anything very productive between 2 to 4. So 2 to 4, I usually go for like walking or like visiting a museum or a gallery, which is like it's not very usual for especially entrepreneurs that they work so long. But I learned it's not working for me. 2 to 4, it's not working for me. I can work in different time of the day. And first I learned about myself, and then I try to make some game and some strategies to just keep myself in my flow.
That's really interesting. I like that. I like that. That's a great way of putting it. So my next question is, if you could meet any entrepreneur for coffee and get to pick their brain for an hour, who would it be and why?
The person that I would love to do that, like, it's not an entrepreneur somehow, but it's a CEO. It was a CEO. He was. So Bob Iger, the previous CEO of Disney company. I love to have a coffee with him. I have a lot of questions for him. And the entrepreneur, the founder of Spotify, my favorite startup, my favorite product. I want to know how they manage this much creative little things every day they add to this good service.
Yeah, both of them are really brilliant. I love that because it's their unique.
Yeah.
My next question is, what is one business book or nonfiction book that has had or is having an impact on your business journey?
That's a difficult one because I have a lot of books in my mind. I cannot say this is like the best book and the other one like in a priority. Probably I have like 10, 12 good books, but there is a book that every year and a half, I go back and read it again. And I just finished it last month again, I think for third or fourth time. And it's Blue Ocean's Strategy. I it's so obvious when you read it. I said that, oh, everyone knows that, but actually I need to read it every year and a half, because it reminds me things, and every time I learn something new from that.
That's really interesting. I haven't heard of that one yet. I'll check it out.
It's
Excellent.
a good one.
Thank you. Where do you see yourself and your business in 5 years?
In 5 years, I think we will have this project, because we're doing a clinical study on our project, and what I want to create is a real digital vitamin for mental health. It's possible in the paper, but nobody has done that before, and I want to try it with my team to make it happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. For now, we say 65% yes. So I know in the next 5 years, we're gonna go through this process of to see if we can have a digital vitamin for mental health, which practitioners can prescribe it, and it shows the medical aspect in the body.
That's really interesting. Well, I'm looking forward to see if that happens or not. So my last and closing question is, how can people reach out and connect with you? What's the best way to do so? And we'll be adding all these to the links on the show as well.
So the best one is email, which is negar@colorful.zone. And the only social media that I am active is LinkedIn, that they can message me in LinkedIn. I can share the link with you. And I think, yeah, that's the two things that I use the most. And unfortunately, I'm not very active in other social medias.
That's perfect. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. It was wonderful, and I really enjoyed the conversation.
And thank you for having me in this podcast.
Business 911 is hosted and written by me, Levi Bousset, and produced and edited by our talented podcast team. To listen to Business 911, you'll find us on all your favorite podcast apps, as well as YouTube. We hope you've enjoyed this interview and it's given you some valuable insights and helped you along your business journey. And if you have any comments or questions, please reach out to us. Thank you for joining us and listening to this episode of Business 911. A pitch deck in 60 seconds. We want to thank our sponsors, Pitch 2.0, a fully automated pitch creation and monitoring system, so you can focus on your product and not on the deck. You'll find them at pitch2.0.com.